Hello guys, welcome to another daily video, and today I'm going to be showing you how to create a next level drawing application with random colors, right? So the technique or what I'm going to do here is that I'm going to create a line or more a line of circles that differs the radius of the circle differs um, with how fast you move your mouse. So the faster you move your mouse, the larger the circles will be. So let's start up with some easy, simple code. But for this project, we will need an extra function, and I will call it custom circle. So first of all, let's stop to take a look at what we need in this program. We need, first of all, a way to calculate mouse speed. Second of all, we need a way to implement that calculation into our size of the circle. So the formula here is pretty simple. To calculate mouse speed, it's basically the position of your XY coordinates in your previous frame of your mouse. And then you read the XY coordinates of the mouse in your current frame, and then you find the difference of those two numbers. What that does is that creates a gap calculation, and you will take that gap. So the larger the gap is between two frames of a mouse, the faster your mouse moved, of course, because you're covering more distance in less time. And the slower your mouse moves, that means the gap will be smaller, right? So this is pretty easy actually. Our parameters here will be int prev x, int prev y, int x, int y. So what I've done here is that I've created variables for the previous frames of the mouse coordinates and the variables for the current frames, right? So I will go over how this works in a more in-depth detail once I really quickly write the code here. So you can just watch along for now, and I'll describe why I write my code like this. Right, and then I forgot to lines. There we go. So again, the formula or technique here is that you calculate the distance between two mouse coordinates in adjacent frames, right? So for example, okay, yeah, there's a storm going outside of my house right now. So it's very loud outside. There's a storm. Yeah, okay, whatever. But what this is that it will calculate the gap between two frames, mouse coordinates. So like, let's say your mouse moves fast, okay? And let's say you have two frames, frame number n and frame number n minus 1. You need to calculate the distance of mouse movement from n minus 1 to frame n, okay? Frame n is your current frame n minus 1 is the frame before, right? If the distance is larger, then that means your mouse speed is higher because you've covered more distance in that one frame. If your distance is lower, then that means your mouse speed is slower. So with that in mind, we can now proceed to write very, very, very basic code for the drawing of the circle here. So we have an ellipse function, and then this is not a very good name. It should be custom ellipse, right? So when you're coding, you always want to have a very good and fitting name for your functions. I did not have one because it is not a circle, it is an ellipse, okay? So we have custom ellipse, and then we have an ellipse variable, and then these two front variables will locate where the ellipse is going to be. So where the mouse is right now, that's where the ellipse is going to be. And mouse speed, and these two variables determine how large the ellipse is. The larger mouse speed is, the larger the values will be here, which means the larger the ellipse value is. If you don't know how the ellipse parameters work, please go on processing.org to check out basic shapes. Now we can draw some extremely basic code. We have size, we have background. I will make my background white. There you go. Very simple. Now all we need is one simple code, one line of code here. So there we go. Perfect. Now we have ourselves. Oh, sorry. The circle color I forgot. Fill 255. Should be better. No, it's fill 0 because there's supposed to be no light going into it. There we go. And of course, I'm like forgetting everything here. I need stroke because it makes it look just a tiny bit better. Oh, yeah. My color. Okay, should I go? Okay. To see the contrast a bit more, I'm going to change the colors. There we go. Now you can see the contrast here. So if I move the mouse very fast, the circle is large. If I move the mouse very slowly, you can see that it's almost a line and the circles aren't even showing up. The faster I move my mouse, the larger the circles get, right? So this function basically takes my own creative function and plugs in variables. Pmouse x and pmouse y reads the x and y coordinates of the mouse or cursor in the frame before, and mouse x and mouse y reads the coordinates of the mouse right now. Now you may be asking, hey, I said a randomized color in the beginning, so what I'm going to do is that I'm going to create really quickly a randomized color code, random 255. There we go. Perfect. All right. Two parentheses, I think. Yeah, two parentheses. Okay, copy that. Paste that 2 more times. Oops, and I want that. Paste that again. All right. So there we go. We have I think, yep, we have randomized colors. Now, how does this work, okay? First of all, function creation. Second of all, formula. I pretty much explained this to you. You calculate the distance between the 2 points of adjacent frames of the mouse, and then that distance will coordinate to how large your ellipse is with these 2 parameters in the ellipse function. So I think I've got that down. And the rest is basically easy peasy, boilerplate code, background color, white, size of frame, 800 by 600. Fill the circle with a random color. RGB values, remember, are 255, 0 to 255. So int random 255. So you have a random RGB value in each of these parameters. Stroke 10 of a, I like to play around the stroke a bit. We have some larger strokes, but anyway, I'll make a stroke 10, right? And the custom ellipse input variables. So pmouse x goes in the previous x, pmouse y goes in the prev y, mouse x, mouse y, right? So there you have it. Some simple code for randomized, random size, random color, art palette. So I really hope you enjoyed. If you have any questions, please comment down below. I will be more than happy to answer or to acknowledge your questions in another video. But yeah, please leave a like down below, subscribe, and have a good day, everyone. And don't stop.